So let's start our practice. Everybody tuning in, bring your hands in front of your heart. Deep inhale. And bless yourself. Inhale again. See a point a few inches above the crown of your head. And exhale, let that energy wash over you. And begin your practice with whatever internal prayer feels right this morning. Hold yourself, hold your seat. Feel the sacredness of this moment. Feel the sacredness of yourself in this moment. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. I'm also going to chant the protection mantra this morning, so you can just hold this space. There's 4 parts, and I like to project it from, my heart forward, from my right shoulder, from the back of my heart back, from my left shoulder. So you're creating, not really creating protection, you're actually opening up. Your heart is creating kind of like this buffer around you. So holding that space. Adgare name, jukagare name, sakare name, Sri Guru Deve name. Adgare name, jukagare name, sakare name, Sri Guru Deve name. Adgare name, jukagare name, sakare name, Sri Guru Deve name. So we're going to start with cat-cow. So everybody get on their mats, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And you're inhaling up, tailbone up, and head up, and then exhaling, bringing the shoulders up to the ears, belly button into the spine, inhaling up, and then exhaling, belly button into the spine. Keep that going. Sorry we don't have any music this morning. I have a little bit of a clusterfuck of my devices happening, so but it's okay. Practice in silence. So inhaling up, exhaling, belly button into the spine, and keep it going at a nice clip. It is maybe some of you are just waking up, so don't push yourself, but you want to get that Kundalini Shakti energy at the base of your spine, really moving up all the vertebrae. Beauty treatment, life force, and your spine, the nerve endings along the spine. Keep it going, inhaling and exhaling. The nerve endings along the spine go to every organ. And so, this, you can do this anytime. Hey, just drop into cat-cow, among other things. I'm going to be teaching the microcosmic orbit in a few days. It's another way, it's like your acupuncture treatment at home, that cat-cow. So keep the cat-cow going. We have another minute here. I'm going to head back over there. Welcome, beauties that are showing up. Happy to see you. So inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down. Keep it going. Speed it up a little bit, more forceful breath. Last 30 seconds. Gorgeous. Hi. Okay, so inhale up, hold the breath, lift the mole band, that's the pelvic floor, the root chakra, squeeze and lift all the energy, keep your heart open, tailbone, hip bones open, and then exhale, bring the belly button to the spine. And then sit back on your heels. So sit back on your heels, forehead to the ground, hands forward in prayer. Press that third eye into the floor and give it up. Whatever you got this morning, give it up. Let it go. All humility, beauty. What's brought us here. Some of you are just tuning in. I've been up all night praying with the Ma platform. The link is in my bio. Women all over the world, women, trans women, gender non-binary, non-conforming, Shakti transmuters, all praying together, and we'll be there all the way through. Well, we're always praying. There's always a woman praying. There's always a Ma holder praying, but we'll be praying live via the link in my bio. So keep that going. Offer up your prayer in solid synchronicity of this moment, this really sacred moment that we're living through. Oh my God, I love you guys. I'm feeling you. Okay, so sit back on your heels, and actually let's come into easy pose. And the second, we need a little bit more light here. Hold on one second. The second warm-up, we're just going to do 2 warm-ups and then go right into our Kriya. The second warm-up is the ego eradicator. So you're gonna oh my God, yeah, so you're gonna curl your fingers into the fleshy part at the top of your hand, and your thumbs are out. Let me sit back, and your hands are at 60 degrees, so it looks kind of like this. Thumbs are pointing towards the sky, and the flat part of your hand is leaning towards like this, almost parallel with the floor. And then you're going to close your eyes, focus on the third eye, and breath of fire, forceful inhalation, forceful exhalation, ego eradicator. Keep those thumbs pointed towards the ceiling. Keep the breath going. We're here for a little bit, so just feel the connection of your arms behind your heart. That helps if you're not used to keeping your arms up, if you're not a Kundalini person. Keep that breath of fire. Keep opening the heart. Breath of fire. Those of you who are just joining, a bunch of people just came in. Your hands are at 60 degrees. Fingers are curled in towards the fleshy part at the top of your hand. Thumbs are up towards the ceiling. And breath of fire, forceful inhalation, forceful exhalation. It literally is called the brain, oh God, I can't remember the exact word, but it's like the brain scrubber. It actually scrubs the inside of your brain, and we all need that. Get all that static out, all those obsessive thoughts. So 1 more minute here with breath of fire, ego eradicator. Open your heart, join your arms. Let them meet behind your heart. It will help you hold this pose. 30 seconds more. And inhale, bring the thumbs together over your head. Reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Open the fingers.
Draw up on your mulban, which is the pelvic floor. Squeeze as if you're trying not to pee. Bringing the energy. Zip it up the front and back of the body. Keep holding the breath. Squeeze all along the spine and exhale. Keep your hands up. Keep reaching the fingertips with the exhale. Inhale again and draw up. Draw up, squeeze everything. Suspend the breath. Feel that energy rising and just dissipating out your crown chakra like a fountain, and hold and squeeze and exhale. And one last time, inhale again. Keep reaching those fingertips, opening up your armpits. That's where the joy lives. Inhaling and hold and squeeze. And exhale and bring your fingertips to the side. Great. Okay, so we are going to do the master's set. It's short, it's just 10 minutes. It's a little vigorous, so get ready. And I love you. And then we're gonna have like a kind of meditative talk afterwards. So the first posture, you're in baby pose, but your head is like an inch above the ground and your hands are gonna be palms facing up and they're also off the ground. So it looks like this. So for some of you, we're going to be here for a little bit. You might not be able to hold it the whole time. You might have to put your head down, but then just come back up. And we're in breath of fire the whole time. So your head is like this, just an inch off the ground. Your hands, see my hands are off the ground too. And you're holding the posture and breath of fire. Stay with it and just keep the faith. This might be one of the hardest things you're doing today. We're gonna stay here for another 2 minutes. Keep that breath of fire and hold that faith, that energy inside yourself. Those of you who are joining, we just started the master set. You're in child's pose and your head is slightly off the ground and your hands are slightly lifted, palms are up, if you can see me, and we're breath of fire here. So just stay with it. Lengthen your neck. Don't keep your head curled up, but feel the back of the neck straight. That's really going to help. You don't want to strain your neck. Your third eye is facing the ground. Breath of fire. Keep it going. Almost there, another 30 seconds. And inhale and hold. So keep your head off the ground, your hands are off the ground, and draw up on the mulban, even in that posture. And exhale. So I didn't tell you before, you might want a pillow for this next posture, but you can also just stay up on your elbows. I'm going to show you. I'm going to get a pillow so I can demonstrate. So you're going to stay on your knees. We're doing the master set. Those of you who are just joining, it's a very short set. This will be up on Instagram all day, so you can always join later. So anyway, you're going to stay on your knees. And you're gonna lean back. So if you have a pillow, that can keep you, not everybody is as flexible as me. I can lay all the way back like this. You can stay on your arms or your elbows. If you're up this high, keep your chin to your chest and continue to focus on the third eye. If you're all the way down, you can let the back of the neck rest, and breath of fire here. So again, feel free to modify the pose. Just keep the breath going. That breath of fire, forceful inhalation, forceful exhalation. It is literally scrubbing out your thought forms. It's literally scrubbing out the subconscious thought forms. It's literally making space. It's taking out all the contraction, all the crystallization. We've been working with the breath of fire the last few days. You can just sit in breath of fire if you need to during the day. So keep it going. We're more than halfway there. And inhaling and holding, hold the posture, draw up on the mulban even though you're on the floor, that pelvic floor squeeze, feel the energy coming up even if you're laying all the way on the floor, and then exhale and release. And now the last posture, so this is another, just like yesterday, the nervous system overhaul, just 12 minutes, this is just 10 minutes, but it's really active, physically active, you get a lot out of it, so short. So we're in the last posture. This one, okay, so I'll do it sideways. You're gonna, well, I'll start here. So you're gonna bend your legs. You might have to spread your feet far. So you're down in a squat, and the idea is that you have your hands behind your heels, and you're holding the heels. So, you know, and you're actually supposed to be up, so your back is flat to the ground. So modify that however you need to. Coming up a little bit, back is flat to the ground, neck is straight, breath of fire. Hands are technically under the heels. You can have them behind your calves, and breath of fire. This is the last posture, and then we're gonna go into Shavasana, my beauties. Okay. Remember your yogi smile, that always helps. You're almost there. This is the hardest part. Keep the breath of fire going. When you make the yogi smile, even if you're not feeling it, it relaxes the mouth, it relaxes the sex organs, it relaxes the belly, it relaxes the digestive system. So it's the best thing you can do for yourself when you're really feeling this. We have another 30 seconds left, is to smile and let that be more than a metaphor for everything else that's going on. Okay. And inhale and stay in the posture and squeeze. Draw up the mulband, hold. Let that energy rise up. Keep your back straight and exhale. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, squeeze, draw up, flatten your back. Bless yourself and exhale. Beautiful. And okay, so you can come onto your backs for deep relaxation. We'll be here for a little bit. Let me see if I can get some music going for you guys. I'm having some technical difficulties this morning, but I think I might be able to do it. But just relax and lay down. Hi, somebody just split their pants. That means you're really doing it perfectly. You're such a sweetheart. Okay, so Deep relaxation. Yeah, here we go. That set is called the Master Set, and it's just that. It's for getting the most out of your practice when you're in a difficult situation. It's kind of like the War Generals set that they do when they get up. And I do know that Guru Jagat has done that set every morning, and I hope she doesn't mind me referring to her as a war general, but the woman is one of the hardest working women in the field that she is in, of course. So you just finished the master set. You're all masters. And now you can just let it go. The earth is smiling right now, and she's so happy to take all of your stress and exhaustion and any static you want to leave with her. So don't hold back. Don't worry about being a burden. Just relax. So you can stay in your relaxation. I'm just going to talk a little bit, but I'm also, if anybody has anything they want to ask me, they can write it in the comments and I'll look at that. But yeah, I wanted to just start by speaking to that last bit about the earth being able to take your whatever you have to offer. I think if you can get outside right now, it's, aside from that oxygen being so good for you and movement being so good for you, I think touching the earth and also, you know, like digging in the earth with your fingers or walking barefoot is super helpful right now. The discharge, I mean, that's what we're working on with the Kundalini, is the discharge. There's so much. Please allow yourself, you know, don't feel like you have to be some kind of soldier or muster on. Allow yourself to have all the feelings that you have. And hopefully you are in situations where people can hold that for you, even if they don't know what's going on, you know, in your bedroom or in your mind. And if you can share. But it's just a massive release that is going on here, and it's like nothing that we've seen before. There's no map. And I do think that I have it myself, the fear of losing control or the fear of the chaos even within. I think these practices are great. It's great to have a plan and a structure for how you spend your days. at least right now, because we're so addicted to a certain level of busyness. But I think that, within that you can, you can both hold yourself in an embrace, and you can hold yourself in an embrace. You can lean onto others even if you can't touch them. I mean, I'm so bad about that. I was hugging and kissing my daughter this morning. She's a nurse, and she leaves the house to go to the hospital. I just had a moment. It's okay. It's really okay. But to feel all the feelings and putting them in the earth, in the ocean, in a pond, like you find a crack in the sidewalk, touching that green. The green is coming. It's amazing. The spring is coming. Today is spring. I am holding the prayer at the Ma platform right now, and have been holding it for 4 hours this morning, and then other women were holding it. And the Ma platform is a chain of women praying around the world continuously and consecutively for like 18 months now, since a year ago, last winter solstice. And so we're openly praying. I'm holding that space right now. The Zoom link is in my bio, so please come and sit with us. And I opened it last night at midnight, and I was sitting until 4 a.m. and various people were coming by. I was partly live here. And, a lot of things happened. And I think I'm so smart. I think I'm so spiritual. And, I am spiritual. I spend like 90% of my time praying. But, I think we've been waiting for this. People keep saying that. Like, we knew this was going to happen. But it is really happening, and it's quite extraordinary. And I know one of my beloved protectors at the Ma, Astronauta, her daughter Coco, as she was being driven from the bosom of her mother to be with her dad because it was a better place for her, just logistically. She turned in here, she's 11 or 12, and she turned to her mom and it's like, it's really exciting. It's like a movie. And, how beautiful that a kid could feel that way, because we've seen all the movies, we've seen all the dystopian fantasy, read the books, and it's been coming, and, maybe we were in denial, maybe we're not ready, but here we are. And everybody in the world is going through this at the same time. Even in the most isolated places, probably in the most isolated places and in those indigenous communities, they are feeling the vibration. Maybe they're more comfortable with it because they always knew, there's so many prophecies about this time, maybe they're suffering too, maybe there are various interruptions in their lives just as much as ours. Who knows? But we are all going through this together. And, last night when I was sitting here, I took the prayer mostly in stillness last night. And I saw just like this kind of crack, and there was like the reality in front of me that it was my living room, and then there was the crack. And it was just like getting a little bit wider. It wasn't that dramatic, but there was a crack. And I just knew that we were moving through this crack. I guess it's like the birth canal. But it was just like so it was like vibrating. It was just resonant. But, I guess similar to how we were all born, you got to go through it. I could not see what was on the other side, but it was beautiful. It was erotic. It was magnetic, and it wasn't like totally. It didn't build confidence. It was scary, but it was still magnetic and resonant. I think that's the deal, and I think that's how we were. It was when we were born. When we were born, we were inside the womb, and we never knew the light. We grew in the nothingness. We grew in the dark. We only knew that was what safety was. We didn't know that there was like a whole life for us, first just the light itself, and then the body of our mother separate from us, that we could feel the warmth and that we could receive nourishment from. And then, you know, we would someday walk by ourselves, autonomous, and then someday we would live separately from our family and begin a new life. Like, we didn't know that. And so that's what this, you know, the spring is about. It's about the plants are coming up through the ground into the light, and those seeds don't know. They're just, and that's like such hard work, just like it was so hard for us all to be born. Such hard work for those seeds to push up through the ground to get the light. And they don't know the light. So we don't know, and I don't know what was on the other side of that crack, but I did feel, you know, I'm making it, well, I don't know if it sounds inviting to be born, because it's really scary and violent for the baby and for the mom. I've had 3 babies, my beautiful daughters, but what I saw when I was sitting here for that 4 hours last night was, you know, it came like a vision of like just row after row of people together on their knees. And we are together on our knees, and it's just wild. I you know, don't look at the news, but I did go walk down the street and talk to some of my neighbors, like across the fence, and because, you know, who knows, this could be our new community. I mean, it is your community, but I'm just saying, like, you know, who knows what the next month will bring. We need each other. And just an aside, that reminds me of a book by Julio Cortez, who it's a short story about being in a traffic jam outside of Paris one night, like at the end of a weekend, coming back from his country house, and they are in a traffic jam, and then, you know, 1 hour becomes 1 day, becomes a week, becomes a month, becomes a year, and that becomes his community, or the cars around him at this traffic jam, and they never move. It's this existential story. So anyway, talking to my neighbors, and the woman across the street invited me into her house, which I hesitated because of the quarantine thing, but she said, she knows, she sees me as this bohemian, like, goddess witch, and she said, you probably don't see this at your house. And she took me inside because Cuomo was speaking, you know, the governor. I live in Massachusetts, but he was speaking, and he was speaking live in a press conference, and he was being very real. But he was also like, he was being very real, and he was also, the way he spoke to every person around him in this press conference was like, we are doing everything we can. And he's like, you know, kind of like, we're talking to Connecticut and New Jersey and Pennsylvania, and we're figuring it out so that it's like no one is isolated, the whole area is like on the same page. And, you know, I'm not naive about politics, but he was so present. It was live. He didn't have a teleprompter. He didn't have a script. And he was, you know, that moment where you believe that you may not trust everything, but that someone is intelligent and compassionate and is thinking about the people. And I think we're going to see more of that. I believe in that. And that starts, you know, like with me walking down the street and talking to my neighbors. So anyway, kindness, you know, I've witnessed even in my own family, people getting freaked out, people being harsh with each other, and, you know, it's being compassionate in that moment. And also, if that person is you, you know, and you feel that harshness coming through, it's just like taking a minute. We have all the minutes. We have all the minutes. We have all the minutes. I am going to, I think, end it there, unless anybody has anything they want to ask me. I'll be back here tomorrow at 9. Please drop in with the Ma today. The link is in the bio. We're all here praying. I'm just going to turn back to my other screen and sit here for a while until Allison Fox takes over in my seat at 10. And, you know, let me know what you need. I'm just going to keep showing up here. I don't really have an agenda. I just want to be here with you. So I love you, and blessings.